This time on Party's Over, we're talking about Ayurveda, the science of life, and later, are you a people pleaser? If so, you must be exhausted. I know I was. That's all ahead. Party's over, my friends. Externally, I wanted to look a certain way, but internally, I wasn't happy. I've had so many procedures, so many treatments, more than I can count. I started to really focus on doing things for my body that made me feel good. I decided to write my book to share this knowledge, and people have really resonated with it. And that night at 5 in the morning, there's a girl at the front door. I was able to figure out what a narcissist was because I was married to a narcissist.
There's some stuff in there I'm very surprised that you're talking about.
I can spot the red flags now from a mile away. I want the viewers of my show to walk away feeling great about themselves and feeling empowered. I'm going to incorporate my story as well in the show, but I also am very interested in learning about other people's stories.
I love your honesty and your genuineness. That's what makes you so authentic and real and why people want to talk to you.
Watch Party's Over. It's going to be fun, informative. We're going to have a great time. Party's over. Have you ever heard of Ayurveda, an ancient system of healing that connects the mind, body, and spirit? Joining me is my friend Vita, and we're talking with certified Ayurveda coach Tess Arnold, who's going to help us understand the basics. Welcome, Tess.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for just bringing me on to talk about all things like Ayurveda, which is amazing. And I know it's fundamentally changed my life. And just being able to introduce it into the way that I live, the way that I feel, how I work with my clients and what I teach to them has been such an incredible shift in my overall well-being and fulfillment, and my clients as well. So I'm thrilled to talk about it with you both.
This is so interesting because Vita and I we've never heard of this before.
Yes, and I'm so excited because, I mean, this is going to sound so crazy, but even off of a screen, you seem so zen.
Yeah.
Like you give off this energy of just calm. So help us.
Yes,
we want to know all the things.
Everything.
Tell us everything.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, that's how I stumbled upon it, because I was in a place in my life where I was like, okay, uncle, something's got to give. You know, you're juggling all the balls in the air. I had a business that I was getting off the ground for personal life. I was going through a separation and then a divorce and then loss. And I was trying to run a business at the helm of something I knew nothing about while simultaneously working for a large global bank.
Wow.
As you know, really high up within the realms there to be able to navigate digital interface and 2 small children.
Okay, this is serious.
So I was like, okay, I got nothing. I was like, I've got to help me, please. And I was like, you know, any way that you want to slice it, I was like, send me a sign, whether it's my spirit's guides or my faith or Matthew McConaughey saying green light, you know, I was like, just send me something. So I stumbled upon a retreat that I wanted to go on for Deepak Chopra was having one. And I went to this retreat. I called, you know, a friend of mine who was going to watch the kids. I called family. The time worked for, you know, with work. So it was like green light, green light, green light. And I was like, go. I was like, just go to, you know, Mexico, go stay for 5 days. Everybody's going to be okay, but you have to figure out a way to shift, right? This is not working. I was burning out fundamentally, and I was having a complete identity crisis, which, just a caveat, I think that's perfectly normal. And I think we might go through the multiple times in our life, because to say that we are going to evolve and change is an understatement. There's going to be so many cycles of us throughout our lifetime, and that's a gift. So I just needed help navigating that. At the same time, I did not feel at home within my body, right? It was a feeling of discomfort in my skin, in my sense of what should I do to nourish myself? How do I take care of myself? You know, is it this fad HIIT class? Is it the, you know, new trending diet that's out there? How do I feel the best? Because I've got a lot of people who I want to support. And if I'm not feeling well, how am I going to show up for them?
Exactly.
So I think as a mother, as a woman, it's just a human being who's, you know, part of your community. We have to constantly look at, how am I showing up for myself and the people around me? And can I pause for a second? Can I step into the gap? Can I think about what it is that I could potentially do to help myself, to help them? And that's what I did. I went on a retreat. I did a lot of yoga. I did a lot of classes, and I stumbled into this course on Ayurvedic practices, and I started to eat the food, and I have never felt better in my life than I did that week. And I took a course on it and I was like, okay. And then I started to study. My fascination became insatiable. I needed to know more about this because it was the science of life simply translated. I was like, you've got me on the science, you've got me on the life. Let's dig in more. And I feel incredible. Please tell me more.
Okay, we're sold.
It's
Right? Exactly. It's like, okay, what else do you need? Because it wasn't something. And I'll tell you what even took me a little bit further into the process where I was like, thank you. It was a personalized prescription. It was not a one size fits all. And in a world where we are told, where we are shown that we're all supposed to be a certain way, look a certain way, never age, right? Feel incredible. It's like, I was about to throw all that out the window and I was like, give me a personalized prescription for Tess. I was like, I need this. Okay, and I want somebody to tell me that you are unique because we ultimately all are. There's not another expression like us on this planet. So I need something for this expression of me that's going to feel good to me. And that's what I found.
This is amazing. So you heard about this from a friend, the actual retreat, and when you went to the retreat, was it a separate class or was the retreat based on Ayurveda?
So it was woven in as, it's interesting because we say we haven't heard about it and we haven't really implemented it into the West culture. As it's a 5,000-year-old body of knowledge dating back to the Vedas. So it's not something that's new that I just stumbled upon. It's something that found me through, people bringing it up. And to answer your question, it was interwoven throughout the entire retreat. All the meals were based on the Ayurvedic practice of healthy living, and you could opt in to take additional information on it. What I chose to do after the session is become submerged in it, learn as much as I can, and then go through the certain qualifications of becoming a certified Ayurvedic health coach, which I did. You can even go further and become a practitioner in it, a doctor who teaches Ayurvedic medicine. So I coach and then can refer out to doctors, to move it forward. But what I do is simply get you into the practice of it, teach you the fundamentals and the basics of it so you can start to beautifully interweave it in your life through that process. There are 6 pillars. And when we get into the pillars, one of them is emotional needs, healthy emotions, right? And so when we get into that, obviously a lot comes up and we get to know ourselves a little bit better, right? We're dealing with the multifaceted parts of ourselves, which are all unique and beautiful, and we accept them and we honor them. So there's interwoven within the Ayurvedic practice, I feel it's a stripping of all of the layers of imbalances that have been placed on us since all the way up to the moment we're born and our parents like, don't do this and be this way. Can't you be like this? And can't you act like your sister? Can't you act like your brother?
So you're deprogramming people in a way?
Deprogramming the people to strip it away to the bare beauty and essence that then starts to really lift and come out of you where you're radiating you. Right? And people are like, you look great. What did you do? And you're like, I just found myself.
Right. So what are the principles? You said there's 6.
Sorry?
So you said there's 6 basic pillars.
Yes.
So what are the pillars?
Yes, absolutely. So we go through them, and it really depends on my clients which order I'm going to go through. So when they come to me, it's an intake process that we'll go through the intake. We'll see, what is it that brought you to me, right? Because it's a joint agreement to do the work together. So we talk about which pillars we might start with. So nutrition, obviously. We nourish ourselves by what we ingest, and that could be through all the senses. That's just not necessarily food. So based on your dosha, which again is kind of your composition of your body. So there's 3 typically we're bi-doshals, just like, you could have a blood type A, B, or A or B. With the doshas, you have all 3 of them in you, but depending on what shows up for you the most, that's what we'll start to work on imbalances. And that's where we get into the pitta, kapha, in the Veda. So Vata. So that's what we'll go
So those
into.
are the three
But-
doshas: the Veda,
Those are
the
the three
Pitta,
doshas.
and the Kapha.
So before we even get into the 6 pillars, somebody will reach out to me. We'll go through sort of a profiling tool to understand the Vata, the Kapha, or the Pitta. So we'll go through the dosha profiling. You'll get a better understanding of what that means and what your composition looks like today. Then we get into primarily the first pillar, the nutritional aspect of it. And then we can move forward from there, whether it's the movement or the breathing, healthy emotions, sleep, right? So
Yeah.
sleep is a big one that we don't want to move past. And then one that I particularly love, which is self-care. Now, everybody's listening that's not going out, as we know, and getting the massages or the mani-pedis or anything like that, right? This is the real good stuff. This is the stuff that you can do at home. Again, with this practice, and what I've learned is it's not necessarily we have to go out and buy anything. It's not a 30-day trial. You don't need to take a bunch of different supplements. There are some that you can take. You don't have to go out and do this, sauna and infrared exposure twice a week, because all of that we know gets quite expensive.
Yes.
So what I try to tailor, tell me what you have in your house today. Tell me what we're working with. What can we do to really incorporate self-care practices that you can start doing after our first session, whether that is a healing massage that you do at night in certain parts of the body that really helps to eliminate some of those imbalances, tension, and inflammation, certain oils, rhythm of music, movements is huge. So when we get into the movement pillar, again, it's not a one size fits all. So just as a quick antidote, I love hot, intense yoga. I'm a yoga teacher as well, and I love going to it. I will leave there dragging out of it. It doesn't mean it's the best for me.
Yes.
It does not. My composition, my dosha, I'm a Vata, so I'm like, I can't move. You have done it for the rest of the day.
So each person is that their Vata and Pitta and Kapha, they're all different.
They're all
Okay.
different.
I
Yes.
see.
And you can be, a lot of times there's bidosha, so bidoshal. So you'll see Kapha and Pitta coming up,
Okay.
or maybe a Vata and a Pitta combination. And that's where, when we start to walk through this journey together and explain the composition, you're like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me, right? It's me. And that's what happens with this process. I am not teaching you anything new. I'm taking you back to what you already knew, but explaining it in such a way that it's something you can use, you can digest, and you can heal yourself from the inside out. Because within the Ayurvedic practice, we do not treat symptoms, we get to the root.
Which makes perfect
That's
sense.
as
I
we
love this.
really need to
This
do.
makes perfect sense.
I have a question about the diet aspect. Just out of curiosity.
always comes back to food
Always
for
goes
her.
back to the diet. So is it, being like an Asian practice, are there certain principles that are all encompassing? Like, is it like a vegetarian diet? Is there, you're allowed to have alcohol? Like, are there rules to the diet?
Yes, so absolutely. So depending on where you are within the journey and the practice, you get deeper in and you can really structure around what it is that you're looking to incorporate. So whether it would be an irritation to certain alcohols that you eliminate based on your composition. So what we do is we come up with a complete comprehensive meal and nutrition plan. So you'll have a grocery list that you'll go to. I'll say, what's in your cabinet now? What can we work with? And we journal. So we journal quite a bit of what it looked like for just today. So if I was working with you, I'd say, if you can, start journaling in your phone or on a notepad, what you're eating today, how you're feeling. And then looking at 24 hours, how does your gut feel? Are you feeling inflamed? Do you feel a little bloated? Different things
So
like
Vita
that to
logs
really get
everything that she eats.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, no? Oh,
I
she
love
used to
that.
Logging. Yeah.
She used to log everything
I
that
logged
she
for
eats.
years, and now I'm free of logging. I'm a new woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's a new woman.
Yeah.
And it's just to understand, right? And again, none of this there's no right or wrong. So we go in this with a grace and a gentleness of discovery. Let's figure out for ourselves how we can better understand ourselves and what is going to satiate us. So it's about satiation in a way that's going to last all day, right? So if you're eating, depending on what you're eating, right? How does your microbiome relate to that? How does it digest? How is it feeling? How are your energy levels? How are your cravings, and what is that telling you? And what we have to realize is how we start the day. Those cravings are typically going to take place at the later part of the day based on how we've taken care of ourselves. Also, we talk about certain things. I really like to get into glucose spikes, and I do a lot of research. So as a coach who also has other hobbies, I like to bring in my skill set as far as what does the glucose levels look like? How are the fiber intakes? What are we doing? And you can do a complete diagnostic at a doctor that we can relate back to this. Also, what chronic illnesses are we dealing with now, and how can we help through herbal remedies start to look at this, and how can we ask your doctor about that too? Ayurvedic health coaching is not to replace going to a medical doctor or a therapist or anything of that nature. It is a beautiful accompaniment to be able to help support you. But what we've seen as far as the breakthroughs, and I can speak for myself as well, have been absolutely just incredible, and they change your life when you connect to yourself on such a level that bond can never be broken, and you understand yourself down to, I know I ate this earlier today because I was on the road, I was running through the airport, and I know tonight I'm not going to feel great, and I'm all right, but I'm not going to do it again, right? So it's not about cutting out bad habits, it's about addressing the benefits of why we do
and
what
identifying
we do.
them. That's great. And I love the fact that you're focused on the microbiome and the gut health because it's so important. And do you also recommend more like holistic, integrative doctors to your patients?
I do. And on the Chopra site, so on the, if you go to the Chopra site where I'm listed there as a certified provider for the health coaching, you do have practitioners that you can look up in your area. So if you wanted to go and visit, you'd be able to see, which is fantastic. Also, there's a lot of practices typically in the more cosmopolitan areas, you do have better luck, but you can also get somebody online or through Zoom too. Or if you were working with me, I could also refer to you. But absolutely, I mean, there's great doctors, you know, I have a profound respect for them. I think we as just a culture here in the East, right? In the West, in the East, it's been going on for a long time when we get into the treating the root and not the symptoms.
So
right?
important.
Exactly. A 5,000-year-old practice from the Vedas in India, I mean, is fundamental. It's a beautiful gift to us to be able to pull that into our lives as such a young, you know, culture in its infancy. And when we look at the medical practice and everything that we're doing, but I want to go and talk to my doctor about the root cause. I don't want to treat symptoms. I don't want to be reactive. I want to be proactive. And when we talk about quality of life and longevity, yes, I'd like to be old for a very long time and watch my children grow old, but I want that quality of life to be at its highest so I eventually can run around and chase grandkids all around the earth. That I get to walk, you know, my grandkids down the aisle when they're getting married or whatever it might be, or just be there for them, but have this profound connection to who I am, how I'm taking care of myself, and then I can give that gift to others.
So what happened after this retreat? So did you quit your job? Did you quit your high profile job and then started doing this full time?
I did. I started doing it full time. I had a secondary business that I was running as well. I wrote a book, so Step Into the Gap. So I did that through the journey, which again, when you start to remove the imbalances, it really just shows so much potential and creativity, right? So when we get stuck in imbalances and so much weight on us, that's where our creativity is stifled. And people are like, I'm not creative. I can't do anything. I promise you, you are. There is
I can relate to you. I can relate to the similar, well, not the Ayurveda, but a similar situation after my separation.
There's something for all of us, right? Yeah. I like to say one of my favorite passages that I read from somewhere was, we are all on the same journey, right? We're all just walking each other home.
Yes.
So
that's great. I love that.
We all are hand in hand, walking each other home, being of service to others. It's one of the most wonderful ways to just take care of yourself is to be of service to others. Right. And I knew that that was my calling, especially with everything that I had gone through in my personal life. I knew that I had to get out of my own way, let the ego kind of die a little bit. And it wasn't about me anymore. It was about taking care of myself. But then I had to learn fundamentally how I could then practice this for others.
I mean, you're incredible. This is amazing. And we're so happy that we met you because we had no idea what this was. And I love it. How can our viewers reach you?
Absolutely. So they can reach out, Tessa Arnold, on all the socials or sites, and I promise you, just reach out. I'm happy to get back to you. I love to talk, obviously. So balanceofview.com, Tessa@balanceofview.com is going to be the best way to reach me via email. If you reach out and would like to take your dosha profiling, I'd be happy to send you over the tool or talk more about it. If you'd like to find out more information, please go to balanceofview.com, where you can read about all the different doshas, the composition of it, more about the Ayurvedic 101, the science of life, and how you can beautifully incorporate it into your body.
This is amazing. Thank you so much. I love this interview. I loved having you on the show, and I definitely want to learn more about this. And we'll also include everything in our show notes as well. And thank you so much. It was so great to meet you.
Thank you both. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
If you like what you're hearing on the show, that makes my day. And you can show us some love by liking and subscribing to Party's Over. Follow me on Instagram at Sandra Silverman and pick up my book, From Bullshit to Botox, for much more. Up next, we're talking about people pleasers who want everybody to be happy all the time. And I know what I'm talking about because I used to be one. Joining us today is Amanda Connor, and she wrote this amazing book, Not My Problem, The People Pleaser's Guide to Not Giving an F.
Yes, yes.
Round of applause. We love you.
Words to live by.
And she's absolutely gorgeous. So
You're
Amanda,
gorgeous. I'm so honored to be here. You have no idea.
We are so excited to
I follow
have
you, and you're just amazing and an inspiration.
Thank you.
And I love it.
Thank you. So what inspired this?
Okay. When I was younger, I've always been, the type of person to never hold back on my feelings. I guess I was kind of raised that way. But then, if you say what you mean all the time, you can get reprimanded for it or in trouble for it. So I always kind of grew up holding my tongue when I needed to, but not too much, because if you follow me on social media, you know that I can't hold my tongue at all. You know what I mean? But
I love it.
For going through life, I was like always a people pleaser. I never wanted to break the rules. I always wanted to stay in line. I would get this huge gut-wrenching feeling when I had to let someone down because I didn't really want to do something, but then I would, instead of saying no, I would just say, well, maybe. Well, let me think about it. Or I would do it even though I didn't want to do it, And so after having my son, I had a lot of fertility issues, and I was like, God, if you give me this baby, I promise you I'll be the best mom that I can possibly be. And as he got older, I was like, I don't want him to be a people pleaser. Like, I have to show him that he can say no and that he can be brave, and he doesn't have to say yes to everything to please everyone. And then I was like, I'm gonna write a book that's fun, easy to read, because some people, have short attention spans. I mean, I'm one of them, So I was like, I want it to be easy and fun and simple. And I want people to know that they don't always have to say yes to everything, because it's bullshit,
It's so funny you say this about your son, because it just reminded me. I remember when my daughter was learning how to speak, they kept telling us, don't teach them no, because then they'll start saying no. And it's like, why are we teaching our kids not to say no?
Exactly.
No is a really important word. You should be able to say no. But it's like in all these parenting books, it's like this trendy thing right now where you're not supposed to say no to your little children.
Are those the same books that tell you timeout is bad, or that should be called time in?
So that I'm not sure of, because I too have a short attention span. So I didn't actually read the parenting books. I just saw it on Instagram. And then okay, so full disclosure, I never read a single parenting book, but Instagram told me not to say no, and so I listened for a little bit. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't want this kid that says yes to everything, so we're going to learn how to say no.
100%.
No means no.
100%.
What happened to that?
So how old is your son?
He's 14.
He's 14. So you wrote the book how long ago?
I literally just finished the book for my 40th birthday, and that was June 30th. It was published on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I mean, I can't believe I'm 40,
No, you definitely do not look 40. How long did it take to write the book?
Well, I've been doing this for a while. I've been thinking all the things, writing all the notes, doing all the things for a while, but I kept procrastinating because I have ADHD. So my brain goes from one thing that I stick my learning skills into for hundreds of hours to the next thing. I can never finish anything until I like put a deadline on it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
So my birthday was the deadline. So I crunched it and I got it done. And there's still little things that I'm like, oh, it's not perfect. It's not perfect.
No, it's perfect.
Nothing
We
in
love
life
it.
is perfect, right?
It's perfect.
So
It's
I
perfect.
was wondering, so you mentioned you're a hairstylist as
Yes.
well. Did you find inspiration from people sitting in your chair to write this book? Like, 'cause I feel like you dish to your hairstylist, right?
100. I'm like a therapist, you know? So
Right.
it's like,
Great question.
yeah. And I feel like my guests, even if I mess their hair up, they would just keep coming back to me because of the therapy that I supply.
Exactly. So you could add that life coach to your
I would
your
love to.
resume.
And it's so funny because through the years growing up, my best friends were like, Amanda, you need to be a life coach. You need to be a life coach.
Yeah.
I just see you in the
I
future,
agree.
like writing your book and doing all these things. But I don't even, honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Like I just started
You just get
social media.
certified and start. Yeah, and you're already on social media, so you
Yeah,
can gain.
and
you have a
book.
following. And you have a book.
I went,
You're an expert.
You know what I love?
I went viral pretty quickly on TikTok, and then social. Instagram is a lot harder. It's a whole nother
Yes.
breed. You know.
Yeah.
But I just do it for fun, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it for fun. So everyone's like, Amanda, you got to figure out what you're doing here because you got something going and you need to figure it out. And I'm like, I know, but I don't know where to begin, you know?
So for those people out there who haven't read the book, what I love about it is it's so to the point and it's perfect, like you said, for a lack of attention span. It's
Yes.
literally
It's a
bullet
very
points.
easy, quick
it's just
read.
telling you what to do.
Yes.
To the point, no nonsense. I love it. I
love it too.
absolutely
and
love
since
it.
you have this book, I mean, now you're an expert, and you could easily become a life coach. I
Stop
would
it!
listen to you for 100%.
Absolutely.
We were so excited for this interview today because
Yeah, like
I love this.
There's one part of the book where you're talking about how, it starts at such a young age, not to say no and to like mind your manners and this and that. And it's so true. And I feel so I am not a people pleaser at all. I could give two whatevers what people think.
I love that for you.
I don't please anyone.
So it's so refreshing
Piss
to hear
everybody off on a
somebody,
daily basis.
right? Like literally, like how many people am I going to annoy today?
Vito and I decided a long time ago that we're not for everyone. Yeah.
And that's
love
fine.
that.
I don't need to be.
I wish I could have figured it out sooner, honestly. I wish I
But you're
could.
great, and you figured it out, and this is amazing.
And it's so validating because, everybody doesn't need to be happy from you.
No.
You do you and set boundaries.
Yes, and the
I mean, this was
boundaries-
very bold to write this.
Thank you. And I had family members messaging me because I didn't tell anyone I was doing it. The only people knew that I was doing it was my husband and my son. No, I wanted no one else to know because sometimes when people know things that are going to happen for you that are
Chatty
exciting,
Cathy's.
they get right in there and they ruin
Yes.
it. They destroy it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, make sure you don't
totally.
say this or make sure you don't say that. Well, I'm going to say like it how I need to say it because these are my feelings, you know?
Yeah. And this
The
is so
last-
authentic.
Yeah.
I mean, reading this, it's so.
Because you don't want people in your ear. Like you're trying to dole out advice. The last thing you need is somebody in your ear trying to manipulate the advice you're trying to give to somebody.
And do you know how many people pleasers are out there that you could help?
Yeah,
As a
I mean,
coach.
it's a serious problem.
Serious
It's
problem.
a serious
It's huge.
problem. And it starts at a young age. So many of these little kids in school on the playground, they're afraid to speak up for themselves because they're afraid they're going to hurt somebody's feelings. And then they get older, and the stakes get bigger and bigger. The older you get. So it's like you have this kid that doesn't want to say no. Then you have a teenager that doesn't want to say no. And the next thing you know, you're a grown woman in this horrible relationship or a horrible job.
and they're
you're
programmed a certain way,
And you're
but-
scared to speak up
But
for
somebody
yourself.
like her can help them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Deprogram.
Like break the cycle.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like when you're younger and you're told to sit on Santa's lap, but you don't want to sit
Yes.
on Santa's lap.
Exactly.
But your parents want a picture of you on Santa's lap, but you don't want to sit on
I'm
Santa's
guilty
lap.
of
You know
that.
what I mean? It's like, there's so many things.
Yes, so many things. You can help so many people for sure.
Stop
This
it, you're
is
giving
great.
me goosebumps.
I think this is your calling.
I agree. I think it's just such a great message.
I mean, you're already
that
a hair
you're putting out
therapist.
there.
I am that.
She's already a
I
hair
love
therapist.
this.
Why not just
Yeah.
be a life coach and help everyone?
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh. I was like,
I love
I
it.
wish I was sitting there. I told my husband, I was like, I wish I was like sitting there with them in front of them, because
I
it's
know.
just, you're just so beautiful. I see you on social media and you're just so beautiful
Thank
and you're
you.
driving through life. And I was like, I bet she's even more beautiful in person. You know it? Just
Thank you. You're gorgeous. We were talking about it before the show started. I'm like, she's so beautiful.
Thank you.
We love you.
Yeah, we do.
Don't
And
we
you're so
love
vibrant.
And we
So
love your
vibrant.
message. We
100%.
really, really love it.
Thank you.
We love it, yes.
I'm really proud of it, you know? And sometimes I have to go back. Like, I made so many notes in my book that I'm like, Amanda, what are you doing, babe? You wrote the book on this. Like, if you don't want to go, just say you don't want to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just
You're
say
the
no.
expert. You're going to say no.
And then it goes back
And
to
guess
okay,
what?
I'm
If
sorry,
they don't like
I can't,
it-
I don't want to. And then you apologize for it. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. But what are you sorry for? Because you don't want to do it. So you shouldn't always have to apologize, you know?
Right. You're
I agree.
100%
Like,
right.
stop making excuses and just be like, this is how it is.
Right.
I
And
don't
you
think
have
there's
to-
anything wrong with that.
I know. And you'll find that like, you open the door for someone and they don't say thank you. And you say you're sorry for opening the door for them because they didn't say thank you.
Oh.
It's just
Oh, I'm guilty of that sometimes.
So the apologizing for no reason
Yes.
is actually one of my pet peeves. Like, don't say you're sorry when you shouldn't be sorry.
right.
Like, why? What are you sorry for?
yes.
That's just perfect.
Yeah, and it's programming, and it needs to be deprogrammed, especially for women.
Yes.
You're just like one thing they say in a corporate setting. So many women will be at a meeting and they'll be like, "Sorry, but." Why are you saying sorry when
Yes.
you're giving your opinion?
Yes.
Give your opinion. You don't need a qualifier to give your opinion. You shouldn't be sorry for your opinion. It's your
So
opinion.
since you're an expert, what do you think is the bravest step that somebody can do to start breaking the pattern?
You have to stand up for yourself and be brave enough to just say that you don't want to do it. Like, if someone asks you to do something, you simply just have to say no. And once you say no, you will literally feel this weight lift off of you of like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been saying no this whole time? That just felt so good. And I
Yeah.
promise, once you start saying no, everyone will be like, she's probably just going to say no. If she doesn't want to do it, she'll just say no. And then there will be no more maybe, no more let me think about it. Let me check the schedule. Let me blame it on my husband. Let me blame it on my kids.
Oh my gosh, all the
Yeah, yeah.
excuses.
Yeah,
It's just a
excuses.
no. And it's beautiful, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
You're
Just say
absolutely right.
no.
Yeah.
So how can our viewers reach you if they want to talk or they want advice?
Well, I'm all over social media.
Okay, yes. So on your TikTok, Instagram.
Yes, you can get in my inbox and I would love to message them back.
This is amazing.
Sometimes I do have to take a social media break because I feel like I get so overwhelmed with social media sometimes that I start to feel like it kind of consumes my life, and I have to put the phone down and pay attention to my family and all of the things, or I'll get wrapped up into something else and I'm like, Amanda, don't forget that you have this social media that you started, and people will reach out to me and they're like, I haven't seen you in a couple of days. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm over here. I'll be right back. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to figure out ways to, because I work full time and then I do the social media. It's a lot, you know.
It's a lot, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I do it all by myself, so it's like
Yeah.
I just have
it's
to
a lot.
manage it better.
No, you're doing great. And this, I mean, it was so brave and amazing that you wrote this.
Thank you.
And I really do think that you're such an inspiration and that you can be, you know, an amazing life coach and
Thank you.
really
Stop
helping
it,
people.
you're
'Cause I think a
gonna
lot of people
cry.
need this help.
They
Don't you
really
agree?
do.
Yeah.
And just
She's
putting
incredible.
yourself out there and not being scared to say this out loud, because I think so many people are programmed, even if they are saying no, not to admit that
Yeah.
they're saying
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And I think that was so brave of you
And
to
so
put this
helpful.
in writing.
And so
I-
inspiring.
Thank
Really
you.
inspiring.
Thank you.
so much. Thank you for coming on the show. I hope we see you again.
I'm honored. I could sit here
Thank
for an
you.
hour with you. I'm honored.
Ayurveda. Guess what time it is?
Is it time for Spill It?
It is. This is where we answer your questions and nothing's off limits. Here's one we just got. Dear Sandra, my husband tells me I'm aging gracefully, but he keeps pointing out celebrities my age who've clearly had work done. Kind of a mixed message, right? How should I handle this?
Oi, I don't know right off the bat, because is he telling her to get work done, or is he just pointing it out because he's dumb? Like, I don't know what his deal is.
This is a tough one because we don't know, but let's just assume that he's possibly a nice man and he compliments his wife, but at the same time, he doesn't understand that it's hurtful.
So I think this guy, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's just stupid.
Okay.
I think that he has no idea that these celebrities had all this work done, and he thinks he's giving her a compliment when in reality he's getting into her head. Like, he's pointing out these celebrities, but he doesn't know all the work they've had done. So he's just innocently being like, look at this celebrity. And he probably is acting like she looks like them. That's kind of the impression I'm getting.
So we're just dealing with major stupidity.
Yeah, I mean, guys are kind of dumb sometimes, right? I mean, they really are. They look at things and they're like, oh, that looks good. And in his head, he's not like, this celebrity had a facelift, this celebrity had Botox. He's trying to pay his wife a compliment, but instead of doing that, he's gotten in her head because she knows the reality of how much work it really takes to look this good. But a lot of times, guys don't understand how much work it takes to look good.
So we're assuming that your husband's a nice man and that he's just stupid and doesn't understand the difference between giving you a compliment, that he could just give you the compliment but not actually talk about other people who look good.
Yeah, I think what she should say to him is say, I appreciate what you're saying, but could you do me a favor and not compare me to other women? Because you shouldn't do that in general.
Or ask him, how do you mean this? Like, do you mean...
Oh, wait, now this is opening up a bag of worms. How do you mean this never ends well? This is asking for trouble. We're assuming he's a nice guy.
Okay, so if he's a nice guy, why can't she just say that this kind of hurts me?
Exactly, but don't say, but don't do the hows. All those questions, who, how, what, why, like, that's just asking for trouble in a marriage.
Okay, so then you just simply say that this hurts your feelings and have a conversation with him, that you appreciate that he thinks that you're beautiful and that you're aging gracefully, but by comparing you to other people hurts your feelings.
I think that's perfect. Just be honest. And no leading questions to the guy.
Okay. Keep those letters coming. We love hearing from our audience. If you like what you're hearing on the show, that makes my day. And you can show us some love by liking and subscribing to Party's Over. Follow me on Instagram at Sandra Silverman and pick up my book, From Bullshit to Botox, for much more. Until next time, stay radiant, stay ruthless, and remember, aging is optional.
Bullshit is not.
Party's over.